Hey guys, it's MC Fixit here. I have this DC14 and the clutch with the belts is starting to go bad. It's starting to become really loose. So I'm going to show you how to go ahead and fix that. This does work for a number of other vacuums as well. I know the DC33 is very similar to this. And so I'm going to show you how I go ahead and take off the belt assembly. I went ahead and ordered a new one, and that is the clutch assembly, and it should have the two belts. And so inside has both belts, which is exactly what we want. And this one was recently made, and it is a Dyson original part. Thankfully they put a sticker over it, so I can't actually tell you what the number was. But I'll have it up on the screen because that shouldn't have been covered, so you can see exactly what the part is. But these have both brand new belts. I do believe this is the belt that might be a little bit loose right here, and so with the belt assembly clutch, we'll just put the new one in. You can take this apart and put new belts in, but the clutch assembly is almost the same price as the belts if you get some original ones from Dyson. Here are the tools and the supplies that I used. I used this clutch assembly by Dyson. It does have both belts and the little metal and plastic piece that is the clutch. And so this is the preferred way. You don't have to disassemble the clutch to get to both of them, at least my preferred way. This is a tool. It did not work as well as I thought it was going to, but it does help get the belt over. Not the best concept. I'm sure there's other better ones out there. A small flathead, a large flathead, a T15. You can use whatever you want with the T15s. They have lots of different options out there. This one's just like a screwdriver version of it, and something to keep your screws in just so you don't lose them. That's all the tools and the supplies that I used for this video. So let's go ahead and jump on into this project. I am gonna remove a couple of things just to just press that little button just to make it a little bit lighter. I also showed you in a previous video how you can change out this filter because a lot of times after about 10 or 15 years they look really bad. So I'll put a card right up here on how you can change out that filter. I know it says lifetime, but a lot of times you do need to change these out occasionally. And we'll go ahead and flip it over. So the next thing to do is go ahead and take that screwdriver. You can also use a coin. This one has been opened a few times and does look like it has separated a little bit, but it is just 3 of them. You do just a little half turn on each one of them, and then you can go ahead and pull that piece straight up. This is the belt that I think is a little bad. It doesn't seem like it goes very smooth anymore and seems a little stretched out. So we're going to go ahead and take it off. We'll go ahead and so you're going to go ahead and take this tool. You're going to set it in this groove, this back piece, and then this other one will just go right here. And it doesn't lock like perfectly in place, but it does set there pretty good. And you're just going to hook it. And I know my hand's going to kind of be in the way for the next few seconds, so I do apologize for that. So with that in place, you are going to have to go ahead and pull up and put that belt on there. It is kind of hard to do, I'm not gonna lie. And then a lot of times you can just wiggle it out. For some reason this piece is too big for this particular model because you're supposed to be able to put it on both of those. But the big thing is that the belt just stretches over. You can pull this out. We did recently clean this, but if this has not been cleaned in a while, please hit it up. Clean it out while you're here. Then we'll go ahead and push that back down. We'll go ahead and disconnect this right here. And you just kind of pull this straight off. That little bit of tubing there. You can pull the other side off as well, so this whole piece just comes right off. So this you kind of bring up as far as you can, and then just start wiggling it out of one side, and then wiggle it out of the other side in that same position. because of how these are cut, you do have to have this up when you pull it out. And we're getting closer to where we need to be. And it does look like we got a couple of T-screws. So you're going to need a T15. You got one screw here, and then one screw back over here. I'll show you the third screw last. And that will get that clutch assembly with the two belts off. So that first one is loose. We'll go ahead and do the second one. These you do not want to lose down in there. This does have a little bit of a magnetic tip on it, but honestly it's not the best on this Stanley tool. So do be careful. You really don't want to lose these screws down in there. I'm just going to leave that one for another second. So we are going to have to take this U-joint off. There is a little yellow push button right here. That just comes straight off just like that. And then this will give you access to that other one, which is right here through this little hole. And then you're just going to slide this up, making sure not to lose either of those screws. And I do have a little magnetic tray that we'll just pop all three of those into. And you can go ahead and set that part aside. Also at this time, if you have any hair or anything fun, go ahead and get that out now. A lot of times that is hard to get without taking a lot of this assembly off. So right here is that assembly. It looks just like this one right here. And so the next step to do is to go ahead and remove it from the belt. You will want a flat head to be able to do that. So you're just going to take it and push it off the end here. Just like so. And then we'll go ahead and take off this side piece here. And then go ahead and take a little flat head, and you got to pry up underneath about right there. And it kind of does sound like you're breaking it, but that is, and right there it popped off. That's exactly what you want it to do. So right about here, and then you can just pull that whole assembly out. Do remember which way that assembly went in. So this is from 2009. That's actually just about when we bought it. And so this assembly is going to go in the same way. Again, remove any hair, anything like that. And it is pretty tight in here as this thing goes down and in. So just let it work itself, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and put the first two screws in. So that's that T15 again. And just go ahead and tighten those down on there. So right here's where the other one goes, and then we have one more once we get the cover for the clutch put back on. You're not killing these, you're just making them good and hand tight. We'll go ahead and grab this. Now this is probably going to be pretty tight and pretty hard to do. In fact, I should be able to use this tool. That's what it is designed for. I think I'm going to put this back up the other way. It was a little easier to do. So the goal here is to stretch this. You may need to use your fingers or something else to kind of get that down and in there. And that goes right back on there. Perfect. Then we'll go ahead and put our assembly cover back on. I am going to remove these again. I guess I really didn't have to put them on, but I do think it helps hold it when you are putting the belt on. because we do have to get that cover on properly. That just keeps a lot of the dust and the debris off these belts. And I have to kind of slide this bottom end first in. There it goes. You want to make sure that belt is, you do want to make sure the belt is sticking up over here, so you can't get that on here in a minute. We'll go ahead and kind of lock that back down into place and go ahead and get these 3 screws in. And then we do have this last screw here that is probably the hardest thing on this entire project. So I'm going to just kind of help guide it on the other side as well. There it goes. You might have to push down a little bit on the cover to make sure it actually gets seated in there, because you will just spin it forever and you think it's going, but you're probably not getting anywhere. And it should get tight as well. We'll go ahead and put back on the U. And then double check to make sure it comes. Remember, you can just easily hit it off, but do make sure it kind of clicks down into place and you got good seals everywhere. And then we'll go ahead and grab this piece. I like to go ahead and put this on first and just kind of spin it around till it gets into place, just like so. You can go ahead and put that back down in this lower section right over top there. And then with this, go ahead and spin it at a little bit of an angle and then push it back down into place. And both sides should snap very well. So go ahead and stick this tool down in here and kind of get your belt to where you have good access. Go ahead and put the brush with this piece facing that way. And then we'll go ahead and get our little tool here. This is going to be much harder than the first time. So once you have the belt on one of the loops, we're just going to go ahead and start fishing this in and through. And then I do like to make sure these little pieces are lined up on the same side. We will go ahead and grab our belt tool and slide that back off and on there. And it's not moving near as much, so that is a great sign. So go ahead and turn, there's one on this side too, both of these all the way back this direction on both sides. Then we're going to go ahead and take and set in this piece. Then we'll go ahead and take and tighten it down. It's just that quarter turn on each one of these, just like so. Don't forget to put back on this piece. And it will only kind of go in one direction, and it'll snap in, and then it will let you to rotate how you need it to. So you have the choice between carpet and the other, and the piece in the back is working. So that is fantastic. We'll go ahead and assemble this and go ahead and give it a test run. So let's go ahead and test to see if the belts do work properly. So we'll go ahead and turn on. And that right there fixed it. The belts are working properly. They're not loose. It's not making any noise. And the carpet is clean. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments, please go ahead and put them in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. Thank you guys so much.